Hello students, myself Aisha. I'm once again I welcome you to the class of English first language, and I'm going to continue the chapter The Eyes Are Not Here, which is written by a famous writer Ruskin Bond. And here what you are observing, he is none other than Ruskin Bond, who is considered as one of the best storyteller in English especially, and also he is born in India. Name of the place here is Kasauli in the year 1934, and I already explained for you. He is coming from Kasauli, and he has written a number of novels, short stories and books for children. And also he is the person whom you are observing on the screen is the person who was awarded Padma Shri in the year 1999, and his great contribution for the children is also very much considered. So, at the age of 17 itself, he started writing. The first work written by him is The Room on the Roof. And because of his John Llewellyn Rhines Memorial Prize, Rhines, he was awarded with Memorial Prize in the year 1957. And whatever you are observing here on the screen, that is Ruskin Bond. He many of his stories are based on Mussoorie at the foothills of Himalayas where he lives. He is coming from by the side of the Himalayas. In the present story, what we are observing here, we come across that the eyes are not here. And as already told for you, the author itself, the speaker itself is the writer here. And in this train you are observing, a man is sitting in the train, and there enters a lady. A girl enters, she is entering. Before she is entering inside the train compartment, the parents of her, they explains her how she must have to be on the journey. They explains her that she should not speak for the strangers, advises a number of things, and they pass away from there, and the train is off. When the train is moving off, so the man who was sitting there, as we already came to know, he was completely blind, whom we are observing here. This man is totally blind man, and he was unable to see anything. His eyes were very sensitive, but too, when after some time, when the train is off, when he understood that a girl has entered, by the sound of her slippers and by her speaking, he very much liked the sound of her voice and even the sound of her slippers, because his ears, not sight, his ears were very strong enough to listen. And he explains that she spoke in a very good voice, and he liked that voice very much. After some time, when the train has set off, this man begins to speak for the girl. He was knowing that a girl has entered into the compartment, and now he asks, "Are you going to Dehra?" When he asks this question, he himself states that, "I think the girl is very much astonished, maybe that I may be sitting in the dark corner." The girl, as if she was astonished, she says that, "I have not seen you until now." And in this way, the friendship begins in between the girl as well as the man, who had very sensitive eyes. At that time, later, after some time, the girl speaks to the man and explains that she was going to Shahranpur, and where her aunt is coming to meet her. At that time, this man was very much disturbed, and he says that, once again the girl also asked the man where he was going. He explains that he is going to Dehra and then to Mussoorie. The name of the Mussoorie, the word Mussoorie, brings a type of excitement in the lady. She says that she very much liked that place because it is somewhat special in the month of October. And he explains about the wild dahlias, delicious sun, and the night where people sit in front of the log of fire and when they are listening for the music. In this way, the man also explains, but luckily for this man, the girl had not understood that this man is a blind man. Now he thinks that he must have to become. She thought that he was a romantic fool. Mean to say that he was a stupid person who is highly emotional. And on the way, when they were traveling, both of them asked one another, and later, for him, in this chapter, the very important thing that we come to know here is that though the people are disabled, they are not ready to show their disability. Instead, they want to show that they are the most successful persons on the earth. So, in this way, the girl speaks to him and says, "Why don't you see outside the window?" At that time, he very slowly and steadily he moves by the side of the window and begins to speak. What was he observing outside? He says, he explains that uh, trees seem to be moving while we seem to be standing still. For this, the girl does not respond very neatly. She says that this always happens and this is not the new thing that you are explaining for me. And later she asks him whether he is observing any of the animals. But this fellow, who was totally blind, he was an extraordinary person. He says that hardly any animals have been left in the forest near Dehra. And after turning from the window, he faces to the girl for a while, and totally there was silence. For this, the man understood that the girl had not had not understood that he is a blind man. So what he does, he starts speaking to her as if he is having a good eyesight and says that you are having a very interesting face. He says that you are having a very interesting face. For this, the girl says that I am tired of explaining for the people that I have an interesting face. When answering, she also says that yes, I have a pretty face, no doubt, but I am tired of people telling me that I have a pretty face. And later, she also speaks to the man by saying that you are a very gallant young man. From here, I have to explain. You are a very gallant young man. Gallant here means brave, dhairyavanta. You are a very gallant young man, she said. But why are you so serious? See, she is asking a question. No doubt, by observing, you look as if you are a gallant young man. Means you are a very brave man. But why there is seriousness on your face? She asks a question. I thought then that I would try to laugh for her, but the thought of laughter only made me feel troubled and lonely. See, he thought, just imagining that I would try to laugh for her. For these words, he wanted to laugh, but suddenly what he thought? He thought of the laughter that made him feel troubled and lonely. Lonely means all alone. We will be at your station, I said. Thank goodness it's a short journey. I can't bear to sit in a train for more than 2 or 3 hours. See, at that time when both of them were speaking to one another, he says, okay, the station has come and no, you have to go down from the train. He was saying like this. For this, the girl responded that yes, I can't sit for more than 2 or 3 hours. I will be very much bored up from here. So I must have to move from here. When she was saying like this, what happened? In paragraph 29, it is explained. Yet I was prepared to sit there for almost any length of time, just to listen to her talking. Her voice had the sparkle of a mountain stream. As soon as she left the train, she would forget our brief encounter. but it would stay with me for the rest of the journey and for some time after. The engine's whistle struck the carriage wheels, changed their sound and rhythm. See what happened here? What's happening? He is thinking in his mind. I already told for you that he is always interfering, he is always wandering in the mind's eye, that is an eye of imagination. ಊಹೆ ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಅದೇ ಕಾಲ್ಪನಿಕವಾಗಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಕಲ್ಪನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. He was prepared to sit there. He must have to sit because his journey is very lengthy. He was interested in speaking to her. By listening her words, he was overjoyed. But her voice, he is comparing her voice to the sparkle of a mountain stream, because she was having a very good sound and very neatly, calmly, very honestly, and also like a childish nature the girl was speaking. As soon as she left the train, he is thinking in his mind that as soon as she will get down from the train, she will forget each and everything. But whatever I have spoken to her, I can't forget her very soon, because I am having still journey. The rest of the journey I will remember her, and after some time I must have to forget. In this way, when he was speaking to himself, what happened? The engine whistle struck. Yes, the engine whistle struck. I mean, they are entering into one of the station. The carriage wheels changed their sound and rhythm. Yes, it changed its route. When it changed its route, what happened? The girl understood that her station is arriving. So what she did? The girl got up and began to collect her things. I wonder if she wore her hair in a bun, or it was plaited, or if it hung loose over her shoulders, or if it was cut very short. See this fellow imagining about the girl. Now she is collecting her things, because she must have to go down. Now Saharanpur is very near. So what the girl is doing? She is collecting all her things now. When she was collecting her things, he is thinking, this fellow, the blind man, who was not considered that he was a blind man by the girl sitting in front of him. What is he doing? He is thinking about her hairs. I wonder means he is wondering how are her hairs, whether she has put in a bun, or it was plaited, or she has hung loose hairs over her shoulders, or whether the hairs have been cut very short. In this way she was thinking. Sorry, the man who was sitting there, the blind man who was thinking. See, the girl until now did not understand that who is sitting in front of him, he was a blind man. If not, she could have questioned him about his blindness. The train drove slowly into the station. Outside there was the shouting of porters and vendors, and a high pitched female voice near the carriage. Female voice near the carriage door, which must have belonged to the girl's aunt. Goodbye, said the girl. See what happened? Slowly and steadily, very neatly, the train drew slowly into the station. Which is the station they have entered now? Name of the station here is Saharanpur. They entered the Saharanpur station because after some time, when the train has set off, she had spoken for the man who was sitting in front of him, and had told that she is going down at Saharanpur and a aunt is waiting to take her. So now the girl is saying, so what happened? The train entered into the station very slowly. Outside, whenever the train arrives, when the train is arriving and when the train is departing, both the times we observe a huge crowd in the railway station, and after that there will be complete silence there. In the same way here also, what happens? As the train is entering into the station, There was shouting of porters and vendors and a hype. A number of porters were there. Coolies, whom we call vendors, people who are coming to sell some things, shouting they will be selling some things. So those type of people and porters, their voice is heard here, and a high pitched female voice near the carriage door, which must have belonged to the girls, and most probably she is the aunt of this girl. Goodbye, said the girl. As soon she understood that her aunt has come, and she collected all her belongings, all her things. She is going down from the compartment. When she was going down, she said goodbye for the man who was sitting there. Until now, she has not understood that the man who was sitting in front of him was none other than a blind man. She was standing very close to me. See, when she was coming down from the train, the speaker here, that is the author here, who was blind, is saying that she was standing very close to me. So close that the perfume from her hair was tantalizing. See, tantalizing means making him desire her presence all the more. A good smell was coming, a good type of smell was coming from her hairs, and he says that it was tantalizing means for some time he cannot forget that also. I wanted to raise my hand and touch her hair. See what this fellow wanted to do. He wanted to raise his hand and wanted to touch her hair, but she moved away. But what happened? Suddenly the train stopped and she went down, and only the perfume still lingered where she had stood. Once again, where she was standing, no, there the smell of the perfume was left. Linger here means stay for a while. She moved away, but the perfume still lingered where she had stood. There was some confusion in the doorway. A man getting into the compartment stammered an apology. Then the door banged shut and the world was shut out again. I returned to my breath. The guard blew his whistle and we moved off. Once again, I had a game to play with a new fellow traveler. See what this fellow was doing? This fellow, he was playing games with the people who were entering inside the compartment. See, now she went down. He wanted to touch her hairs, but she slipped away. Not knowingly, but unknowingly, she slipped away. And now he wanted to, once again, what happened when the train stopped? Some of the passengers went outside and some of the passengers were entering. And now once again he heard the sound of some people, some passengers who were entering into the compartment. What he did, once again the door banged shut and the world was shut out again. Once again people entered, they closed the doors and they sat on the places. I returned to my breath means this fellow took a long breath as if that he is going to fool the people who are getting inside. Once again the guard blew. When the train was going to leave, at that time the guard will be giving a whistle. So in the same way here also the guard blew his whistle and we moved off and the train started once again its journey. Once again I had a game to play with a new fellow traveler. See, he is saying that now what I am once again some people came and sat in front of me. Once again now there is a play for me. It had become a play for him to play with the people who are sitting in front of him. So he thought that I had a game to play with a new fellow traveler. A new traveler had entered and this fellow wanted to play with that person. So before starting the game, now what he thought, until now he thought that he had fooled the girl who was sitting in front of him. But was it real? What happened? And whoever entered now, a new fellow traveler entered. What did he ask him and how did he respond to him? And what was the question raised by the author here? And what was the answer that he got from him? Let us see and discuss in the next class. Until then, have a good day. And whatever thing is that you have to go through the glossary, and some difficult words are there and you must have to underline it. You have to search the answers so that you are going to have easiness in your lessons. Okay, bye.